Everything was dependent on their talent. The venue was certainly bigger than the first one, but it also seemed too small for a group with a talent of such magnitude. They have so much power in their voice, intensity in their pops, and energy in their locks that it felt like the venue was struggling to contain them. But it also felt necessary that they go through the steps to growth rather than burst to the top. It feels like it molds them the right way. What this venue forced them to do is strip it down to its bare essentials. They had a simple backdrop that served as a projector screen. That's basically all they had, and of course, the lights. That meant it was up to the five of them to fill the venue with nothing but their talent. And SB19 delivered. Their movements were intense, as if they were trying to break the stage into pieces. The voices were sharp, like they wanted to tear not just into people's ears, but into people's consciousness as well. It lets people see their core, talent in its purest. When time comes for them to expand, go to a bigger venue, and afford a fancy set, there will be no question about what's underneath. The one that really matters, their music and the ability to show it.
Hi! Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I would really appreciate it. And of course, share the video if you can. It's really helping my channel. So if you are doing it, please continue to do it. If you haven't, please start. Okay, SB19's Pagtatag World Tour. I was there, the LA leg of the tour. I missed the sound check because of work matters, but I was there for the rest of the show. And here are 10 things that I observed that I want to share with you guys. Talent can really convert people into fans. The woman sitting on my right side, she's probably on her 60s. She brought her Latina friend with her who's never heard of SB19 before. So she was really there. The Latina was there just so she can be with her friend. And it was the Filipino who paid for her ticket. And so I told her, the Latina woman, oh, don't worry, you won't get bored because they're really good. And she just shrugged. She was like, I'm here for my friend. So on the second song, I glanced at the Latina woman and she was slowly nodding her head to the song. I was like, okay, we're getting there. And then after Ilaw, I glanced again at her and I saw her mouth open, her jaw slack, and her eyes wide open. And I looked at her a little longer because I wanted to make eye contact with her. And slowly she turned her head towards me and she said, oh my God, they're good. And I said, I know. And then by the time Justin went down to the audience and he stopped right behind on the row right behind us, the Latina woman, so I was trying to lean closer so I can take a better video of Justin. The Latina woman was just shoving everybody aside, trying to get closer to Justin. And she was screaming Justin's name. I was like, okay, woman, calm down. But I think the lesson that I learned is that their talent can really turn people into fans. So next time, to all 18s out there that will be watching their next concert here in the US, don't bring another 18 with you. Bring a non-fan. And we will convert those freaks into fans. But yeah, it was she made it more fun for me, of course. And then the woman who was sitting on my right side, she was just my estimate, probably on her 60s. She was such a super fan that she was actually guessing the next song just based on the description of the members. I'm like, I'm no match to you.
Their individual performances were really well crafted. They showcased their unique style as performers, and they actually also showed their cohesiveness as a team. They have a prolific voice instead, of course, the one they can push to the center to compete with the best in the world, but not just to sing the high notes, but to actually sing with the right emotions. They have the deep and soulful voice of Ken. It's so unique and so different. The world may have to create a whole new genre just for him. Josh, the guy who can command an entire stage all by himself, while others need a slew of people to support them, Josh just needs himself. He's so prolific as a dancer, and I can only hope that he would be able to explore his depths. And our dear Justin, he can really become Philippines' king of pop. He knows how to work the audience and he knows how to work his voice. If he can improve the right way, I have no doubt he might just become the future king of pop. They have, of course, the angst of a rapper in Pablo, the rapper who doesn't just rhyme, but actually remains true to the soul of hip hop, one of substance and smarts.
The best and the worst part in Pablo's performance. The best part of his performance is that he performed an unreleased song. The worst part of his performance is that he performed an unreleased song. Pablo actually cuts as a performer. He murders his rhymes, but as a performer, he has this rare ability to actually command you to dive deep in his emotions. So when he raps an unreleased, beautiful, emotional song, it can really send you into overdrive. You have this, it feels like you're trapped. You don't know whether are you going to try and digest the lyrics, or are you just going to allow him to manhandle your emotions to eternal damnation? It's so exhausting and so frustrating that you don't know what to do with such a load of talent and such a load of emotion. I don't know if Pablo really is aware of how powerful he is as a performer and as how powerful he is as a songwriter. He just gets it. He knows how to play with, and I've said this before, he knows how to play with the words. It seems like the words that it feels like so many times it feels like words are his slaves. It feels like it's his clay or toy that he can form it in any way that fits him instead of being a slave to the meaning of a word. He just gets it. So being in the midst of such a crowd and then experiencing his song for the first time, it was so confusing, so frustrating, overwhelming that I have no other word for it but overdrive. That's how I felt with such a beautiful song, and I hope he releases it. Kumonoi is a monster of a song. It's a very deceptive song, actually. If you listen to it, the beat was actually very easy. When he came on, it was easy. It felt like he was going to start singing R&B. And then the melody, if you really listen to it closely, it felt like a lullaby. It sounded like a lullaby. But then he started limping into place, and then he started gasping for air, as the style, of course, of the song. And he started singing of how present he was in every inch of the pain that death was pulling him into. And it was total agony. The song is total agony in that good sense, of course, if that even made sense. He didn't have to scream in the song. He didn't have to display any of his vocal agility. It was really the irony of the melody and the lyrics that delivered the death punch in every bar. And I guess that's really a sign of how good as a songwriter he is and of how good as a performer he is. He was really almost locked in place, but you can feel every pain, every emotion that was going through in that body of him, and I hope he releases it.
Stel's respect towards his craft. Filipinos like singers that hit those high notes, the biret as we call it. The higher the note, the more they hit it, the more Filipinos admire them. What I admire about Stel is that he doesn't actually subscribe to this. He has a deeper understanding and greater respect for music. He knows that the reason you hit a high note is to communicate an emotion, not just for the heck of it. So when he stood there solo, he was first and foremost communicating an emotion. Each high note that he hits was there not just for show, but for substance. It was there because it contributes to his art. And that's how he managed to transform what could be a simple solo performance into an epic interpretation of the song. Josh can command a stage alone. Unless it's a street battle, it's really awkward sometimes to dance alone on a stage. It kind of feels amateurish. Unless you're Josh. Josh fully commanded the stage all by himself. And it was amazing how he was able to emphasize every pop and lock he was doing with such loose clothing. It made me wonder, what else can he really bring? I hope he can really challenge himself further, better, harder, just work with other choreographers and really push himself to the limit and experiment what he can really do with his body. He can really change Philippine hip hop dancing if he wants to, and I hope he gets to it.
The unique resonance of Ken's voice. Ken's voice is a national treasure for sure. It's so unique. And there's a certain abandon in the way that he delivers his line. He seems to be the polar opposite of Stel. While Stel is so intentional in his delivery bar per bar, Ken feels like he's so careless. Like he doesn't really care about the kind of emotion he ends up delivering. He doesn't really care about how he makes you feel. He's just saying his lines, he's just saying his piece, and that's how it felt like. He didn't feel like he was thinking. He was so raw on that stage, and it's both a dilemma and an asset. On the one hand, he can be so unique that he can actually stand out. On the other hand, he can be so unique that you don't know how to place him. But I'm fully confident, of course, that he will find his place, not just in the Philippines but in the whole world, actually. Yeah, I hope that he is able to harness it and actually, as I've said in the previous point, maybe we need to create an entirely different genre just for Ken.
Justin's potential, the pambansang bunso ng Pilipinas, Justin knows how to play the crowd and he knows how to use his voice, actually. I was a little surprised. I did not expect that from him. But he really does have the making of he has the chance of becoming one of the biggest, if not the biggest, pop soloist in the Philippines. Of the five, he seems to be the rawest on stage. It feels like he's still sort of trying to get to know who he is as a performer, as a solo performer, and I'm pretty sure he'll get there. But I think with the right song, with the right team behind him, he really can become the biggest male soloist in the Philippines, and I hope he harnesses it. There's something in him when he went, the mere fact that he was the only one who actually decided to go to the audience and actually really come in contact with the audience, sing to the audience, say a little bit more than he had to, you can see the level, the kind of connection he's trying to make with the audience. I'm proud. That's our bunso. They have a little bit of the swagger that's coming from success, real success, that is. I think the first time that they came here, they were out to prove something. They really wanted to show their talent, how hard they were going. But this time, I think after what they have gone through and realizing that they're still in one piece, they're still a group together, and that 18s are still supporting them, and that they're still growing in popularity, it brings a little bit of confidence in them. So you can actually see that they have a little bit of that swagger that you can really just get from success, and that makes the entire experience more enjoyable. I think that's why it was easier to convert that Latina into a fan, because she can feel the boys were really having fun. And of course, those are all grounded in talent. Without that, then nothing actually is going to work. So I was so proud to see them there. I hope that in a year or two, maybe they can make the venue bigger, maybe in an arena. That's my dream for them. But yeah, I think it's the other day, this morning I was reading an article from Billboard, and they were talking about how hard it is for major labels to actually groom a superstar now, a real artist. And in that article, they actually discuss several reasons, one of which is that they're finding it harder and harder to actually find an artist with substance. And I was like, SB19. If you're looking for an artist with substance, SB19. In that article, they actually also discussed, like, in so many words, they were kind of saying that they focus so much on the marketability of an artist, not so much on talent. Well, in fact, they should have done the same. And so I think that made me realize that we're headed towards the right direction, because SB19 has that. They have talent. They have substance. They're the kind of musicians and artists that don't just call themselves an artist for the heck of it. They are real artists. It's like, you know, if you're a musician, you need to be able to make music. If you're a performer, you need to be able to perform. And SB19 delivered. So it made me just have better hope that SB19 will be able to showcase their talent to the whole world, because now the whole world is realizing just how much of a shortage they have in terms of talent. So yeah, that's my big dream, is to be able to see them in an arena in a year or two. I hope they continue pushing, and I will do whatever I can to support, and I hope that you do too. I had fun. Unfortunately, I did not meet, aside from the two, the other, the woman who was sitting beside me and the other Latina, I did not get to say hi to anybody. But maybe next time. And I also did not see the booth, the merch booth. I saw some third-party sellers, but I was looking for like the official merch booth. I went left, I went right, I did not see it. I don't know what's wrong. Maybe they were hiding. I don't know. But yeah, I saw the boxes where you can put your gifts to the boys, but not the merch booth. I don't know if they were hiding it from me. Okay, I really had fun, and I felt very, very proud. I hope, I'm looking forward for whatever it is that they have in store. I really can't wait. I feel so impatient. I want them to release the next one right away. Thank you, 18. Thank you for watching. If you have, I would love to hear what you have to say, so please share them in the comment section below. If you have any requests of topics that you want me to cover, leave them in the comment section below, or you can get in touch with me in any of the social media links that you see on your screen right now. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I would really appreciate it. And share the video if you can. Thank you.